Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
As we tape this program, Baghdad is falling. Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers, a hot show on tap, and he's got the rundown.
This morning we're going to talk to Pete Ernaut, who sometimes advises the Bush administration, has been a campaign manager, and is quite a lobbyist at the legislature. We're going to talk about taxes, and we're going to talk about what lies ahead for America after the war. And what would it be like to suddenly be thrust behind the scenes at the legislature? We talked to two interns who've experienced that and find out whether they're turned on or turned off by the process. Sam?
That sounds like a hot lineup, Andy. And we've got our political pundits, Alfredo Alonso, Joe Brezny, and John Cummings. It's all coming up next on the all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
Today's lesson, another reason to take the Gold Rush Club Card Challenge. With the Gold Rush Card, you really have 3 cards in one. Use your cash back. You still keep your comps and drawing tickets. Use your comps. You still keep your cash and drawing tickets. And with your drawing tickets, you could win thousands in cold hard cash every week and still keep your cash back and comps. Does your club add up? Graduate to the Gold Rush Players Club. It's the smart thing to do. The Gold Dust West, south on Keystone, east on 4th.
Folks, you must see what's new in Virginia City. Ride the V&T train all the way to Gold Hill. Explore a mine, if you dare. Visit Piper's Opera House. Watch the gunslingers shoot it up on C Street. Shop in unique stores. Listen to honky tonk in the historic saloons. You can't see it all in one day, so spend the night. Virginia City, where the West comes alive. Come up and spend the night in our hotels, motels, and RV park.
When he was just a young boy, Ken Dillon laid back, looked up at the stars, and thought to himself, hey, this house could use a roof. Today, Ken Dillon's D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal offers a complete line of Firestone roofing products for any type of roof, from commercial to industrial and residential. With a Firestone roof from D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal, what's overhead stays overhead. Call Ken Dillon's D&D Roofing and Sheet Metal today for a free estimate. Yes, the technology sure has changed, but after all these years, Ken still enjoys playing with houses.
If you own a business and want to maximize your company's potential, join the Retail Association of Nevada. Our membership benefits include the Nevada Retail Network Self-Insured Group, providing workers' compensation coverage that can lower your rates. That savings can go directly to your bottom line. We are an effective pro-business organization that lobbies on behalf of our business members. The Retail Association of Nevada, protecting Nevada businesses for 35 years. Call 882-1700 to see what we can do for your organization.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad, political analyst Ande Engleman on No Holds Barred Political Forum. Now, from the News 4 Broadcast Center, here's Sam Shad.
On yesterday's show, I asked Ray Bacon who had the most clout, gaming or business in the state. He said, we'll find out. Well, our first guest today may be able to answer that question. He's Pete Ernaut. He is head of government affairs for Jones Vargas, the attorney firm, and he's here with us this morning, if I can get the words out.
Thank you for being with us this morning.
Good morning.
All right, let's get to that right away. The tax on services was officially introduced yesterday at the legislature. We heard about it on yesterday's show. Who is going to win this fight in the long run? Gaming is adamant. Gaming and mining are joined in this, and both want the gross receipts tax.
Right.
Other businesses want the service tax. Who's going to win in the long run?
Well, I think the governor. Ultimately, what people lose in this is, the governor is the one that introduced the gross receipts tax. Certainly is no fan of the sales tax on services. And I think ultimately he becomes the bridge between the two and probably the person that will be the mediator of the debate. And ultimately, I'm hoping that his plan is enacted.
All right, now, under the tax on services, both mining and casinos would pay a much higher taxes than they do right now. Isn't that one reason they're so opposed to it?
No, the main thing is the sales tax on services is not a broad-based business tax. Businesses don't pay the tax, they collect the tax. And essentially, the sales tax on services is borne by everybody else. I mean, it's a very clear choice, Andy. Right now, there's really no argument of the need. Whether it's education, health care, or public safety, we've all pretty much agreed that somewhere between $700 million to $1 billion of need has been proven. So the question now really is, who's going to pay for it? The governor's plan has gaming and big business pay that tab, and essentially the other plan has you and me pay it. So it's really a simple question.
One of the things that's gone on in Northern Nevada that's been discussed in this program several times is that economic diversification is taking away more and more power from the casinos in terms of their clout in the north. There's been some diversification in Southern Nevada, but it does beg the question, at what point does the diversification allow business to have more clout in the state than gaming does?
Well, I think business has a lot of clout in the legislature, but the question here isn't about clout. It's about fixing the problem in the long haul and having a fair, equitable tax system.
Ray Bacon doesn't seem to think that, and he represents the Nevada Manufacturing Association. He thinks that with his campaign that he's going to get a lot of clout out of that.
Well, certainly Ray's entitled to his opinions, but at the end of the day, I would suspect that most people in the state of Nevada are going to side with their governor.
When do we hear from the governor again?
Well, I don't know. I hear from him every day. So,
but the public in general has not heard that much. I mean, he was on our program last week or the week before last, and certainly put forth that he wants to continue along the plan that he laid out.
Sure.
But is he going to vociferously get behind his plan again?
Oh, he has been. I mean, obviously a
Well,
lot
to
of
the general public.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen. I don't know at the end of the day that anybody, regardless of their popularity, could make a tax plan popular with the public. Right now, his constituency is 63 people in the legislature. And, I paid enough attention in my civics class to remember that they get to make the decisions of how the money is spent. The governor puts the plan out, and they either approve it, throw it out and start over, or come with their own. And right now, he's obviously in that legislature every single day, fighting for what he believes is the right plan to fix our tax structure for the long haul.
All right, Pete, you've been a campaign manager. The governor doesn't have to run again. Legislators do. Has anybody ever lost an election by not voting for a tax hike?
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, if we want to just put on our political hats today and talk about re-election, sure, that's a tough decision. But at the end of the day, we have 27,000 new kids who are going to show up through K through 12 education in this next year. What do we say to them? No teacher, no book, no desk? What do we say to the thousands of senior citizens who need medicine at costs that they can afford? What do we say to the police on the street that we're going to let people out of prison? Ultimately, it's not that simple.
Okay, but the bottom line is the exact reverse, I think, of Andy's question, which is that legislators might not get reelected because they don't vote for a tax. It ends up with all those negative results that you talk about. That would be a great campaign. You didn't do the right thing. You didn't do the tough thing. And look at the disaster we're in right now.
Right. No, I agree. I'm just saying that what we need.
Sam, that's the whole point. That's why they get elected, to make tough decisions.
And I agree with you.
So I'm saying that an alternate plan has been put forward, and the governor doesn't seem to even consider it. I mean, he's not helping legislators make these decisions if he won't compromise a little bit or even consider someone else's viewpoint.
Well, it's not like a sales tax on services is a new plan. The sales tax on services has been around for 20 years. In fact, the same group, the Las Vegas Chamber of Commerce, who brought forth the plan this time, opposed it 10 years ago in the legislature. This is not a new concept. This is an old record, an old scratched record. We've all seen it before, and we might have moved the decimal points around on it, but ultimately, if you look at that plan, it essentially taxes everybody but business. And so,
I disagree with that. I've looked at it, and businesses buy a lot of services. The banks would have to pay thousands of dollars in taxes for their computer services, for instance, that they get right now. So, no, the businesses would be paying this tax. And if this can raise so much money that it's possible we could lower net proceeds tax on mining and net tax on casinos, why would they not embrace this?
Well, first of all, I don't think there's a chance, at all of anybody lowering mining or gaming taxes. But ultimately, any way you slice or dice this, Andy, 75% of the sales tax and services will be borne by the average Nevada citizens, you, me, and Sam, not big business. So it's a smokescreen. It's not a broad-based business tax. It never will be a broad-based business tax. It didn't play in 1991, and it's not going to play this time.
Last quick question. Name me the 4 legislators who are most in favor of gross receipts.
That are most in favor of gross receipts?
as a tax?
Well, I wouldn't say that anybody's going to come out right now and say that they're for the gross receipts tax.
No, but we have a lot of people saying that they're in favor of this new tax, the services tax.
Well, I think that they're in favor of the services tax because for them, they see it as a way for business to come and say, don't tax me, tax the guy under the tree. And it's an easy out for a lot of people. The gross receipts tax is the fairest, broadest-based business tax, and ultimately it'll be the one that's enacted.
And Peter Ernaut, we're out of time. If we could just get you excited on the program, we just get you revved up, it will be a so much better interview. We'll be back on Nevada Newsmakers after this time out.
CTX can help you negotiate your best deal. We've been your home team advantage for over a decade. Call us today because at CTX, local service still matters.
Yeah, with CTX, you're homeward bound.
When you sign up for Wells Fargo Free Checking, you get more than free checking. You get the freedom to bank when and where you want. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
What do you know about the gross receipts tax being proposed in Carson City? This new tax will cost more than $30 million to implement, require lots of new state employees, and take 2 years to generate $1. It will create Nevada's own IRS, forcing anyone who's in business to file a state tax return 4 times a year. The new state agency will have access to all your personal, federal, and business tax returns to make sure you comply. Nevada doesn't need more tax collectors. Call your legislator now and just say no to the gross receipts tax.
At Sushi Club, everybody's family. That's what makes dining here so much fun. The sushi is consistently better, the atmosphere is great, and the service is wonderful.
Welcome to the bigger and better Sushi Club. Come in for our delicious daily specials.
When you're talking sushi, you're talking Sushi Club in the Independence Square Shopping Center.
Walk into the Cactus Creek Bar and Grill at the Bonanza Casino, and you know you're in for a very special evening. Enjoy the southwestern atmosphere of some of the best gourmet food in Reno. It starts right here with Chef Bruce Norman and his talented staff. From buffalo T-bone to martini scampi and peppercorn duck. There's fine wine, specialty margaritas, and our pastry chefs create award-winning desserts. The Cactus Creek in the Bonanza Casino, 1 mile north of the university, where locals come to play.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
Interns are not paid at the legislature. April West is a law student who took time off to work there, and Jeremiah Barlow is a student at UNR who majors in political science. We talked to them today.
Okay,
Thank you.
April, thank you, Ande. April, how hard is the work to start off with?
It isn't as difficult as I thought it might be, but it's more interesting than I could have ever imagined. I mean...
Okay, that begs the question, why?
Well, I mean, there's bills that are created that I had no idea there was even a need, or bills are created that they have no idea that if they'll ever pass, but it's more just an idea, just to get their thought out there, like maybe this would be a good thing, or maybe we should do something about this. And so it kind of changed my view of what lawmaking was.
Jeremiah, are you finding that what you learn in the books about political science and government is the same as what you're seeing at the legislature?
I personally think it's more on a personal level when you're actually there. Everyone talks to each other and is basically friends with everybody. I thought it was more separated, but I found more and more that more people talk than anything. It's amazing
so
to me.
I have to think about this. What are the three big things that you guys have learned at the legislature that you didn't know before?
Probably that sometimes it's not political. People cross party lines to support something if it's just a good idea, a do-gooder bill. It doesn't really have party lines, which definitely caught me by surprise. I thought that was a very big compliment to the system, the way it works. And probably that bill drafts, like getting something drafted, the amendments to it are endless. It can always change, and probably just the process that it's very user-friendly.
Jeremiah, what about you?
I thought that it's very fast-paced, a lot more faster than I thought it would be. Everything's pushed through at a faster pace than I thought it would ever be. And then also, I do think that, like I said before, everyone's a lot more personable than I thought they'd be. When you think of like a senator, assemblyman, you think of them as a higher level, and they're more on your same level. I personally think.
Okay, I got to ask the question, though, because we're talking about all these good things, but people often refer to the legislative process as that of making sausage. It's something that you like to eat, but you don't really want to know how it's made. And they say the same thing about lawmaking. Have you seen and heard things that did bother you? And you don't have to name names, but just I'm curious as to what you think.
Oh, without a doubt. You've seen people, I mean, just when you watch testimony, I mean, you can go on the web now, which I think is a huge technology bound, so the public's more user-friendly as far as involved. But I mean, you'll watch committees that go sour because somebody has a beef with somebody else, and so they'll go at each other's throats. And you'll sit there testifying or watching someone testify, and you think, did I do something wrong? Did that person say something they didn't like? And you find out later on it wasn't personal. These two people had an issue, and so that's how it was resolved.
They were just mad at each other.
What about you, Jeremiah? Did you see some things that...
It's kind of on the same lines as that, as if somebody's done someone wrong in the past, then they're not going to necessarily help them out in the future. So that's kind of the things I've seen. It's
Old
kind of
feuds?
No, yeah. I mean, you have to make sure that everyone. That's why everyone is so nice throughout the legislature, so they can be helped.
Okay, final question here: gross receipts or service tax? Your opinion, each of you. And I don't want to know what you think. I want to know what you think is going to come out of this.
Gross receipts, if it is passed, just from what I've seen from committee and things, the exemptments. I'm curious to see what exemptions will be made, and with the exemptions being made, will it be something that the business people can actually live with? Will it be user-friendly? Will it be able to be implemented? And with all these new bylaws and changes and exemptions, will it be user-friendly? And with the doctors and stuff, I mean, both of them are highly debated. I mean, we have calls every day to our office for and against. I would say more against than for, but like yesterday we had so many calls. I mean, you can't even get back to the people at the rate they call.
And that was because of, and we have to confess, they're a sponsor of the program, the Tax on Services people. And they started running ads yesterday. And how many calls did you get into your
Over
office?
100.
Yeah.
And you both work for Assemblywoman Dawn Gibbons.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, and we're out of time. Thank you so much for being here. Very enlightening. We appreciate it. We'll be back on Nevada Newsmakers with the Pundits. Stand by for that.
Before you head to Carson, take care of yourself with a visit to Tamarack Junction. Catch a hot cup of coffee and the morning news on one of our 32 TVs and enjoy the best food in South Reno. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
Nevada should have a tax system that is fair and balanced, a system that taxes high-end services for the first time, while giving families a tax break by reducing the sales tax on common household products and other major purchases. With businesses and consumers working together, we can have a tax system that is fair to all and meets the growth needs of our state into the future. The legislature in Carson City is currently working on a new tax bill. Call them right now. Tell them you want a lower state sales tax.
We've loosened our machines. We've given you the Gold Dust West Gold Rush Club, Reno's best slot club. You can win lots of jackpots. Play longer. Your points will add up faster than you think. Yeah, we're loose and we're not screwing around. See you at the Gold Dust West, south on Keystone, east on 4th.
Folks, you must see what's new in Virginia City. Ride the V&T train all the way to Gold Hill. Explore a mine, if you dare. Visit Piper's Opera House. Watch the gunslingers shoot it up on C Street. Shop in unique stores. Listen to honky tonk in the historic saloons. You can't see it all in one day, so spend the night. Virginia City, where the West comes alive. Come up and spend the night in our hotels, motels, and RV park.
Make your daily commute easy with breakfast or lunch at the Tamarack Junction. Enjoy daily specials, super fast service, and South Reno's freshest morning meals. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
And back here on the pundit panel, we have a great pundit group today. Joe Brezny is here, heads up the Nevada Republican Party, and Alfredo Alonso with Lionel, Sawyer, and Collins. He's a lobbyist. And John Cummings, who's also a lobbyist with Southern Nevada Community College. Pleasure to have you all here. Before we start anything, Ande has an announcement.
Oh, we're really going to do that?
You
My
bet.
granddaughter took her first steps last Thursday. Brilliant child. All right, that's it.
For those who are listening on KOH Radio, you're hearing this on Sunday morning. For those of us who are sitting here at the table today, which is Wednesday, we witnessed an extraordinary event on television this morning, and that's the fall of Baghdad. I just wanted to go around the panel and get your thoughts. Joe?
Well, I was surprised it happened so quickly, and I'm relieved that it happened as quickly as it did. This is something we wanted to get past. I don't feel like we had any choice but to go in and do what we did. I'm glad it's behind us, and I look forward to just rebuilding it and bringing our boys home.
I agree. I think it's a historic event, obviously, and an amazing thing happened this morning. I think what we all expected to happen didn't seem to be happening. So the fact that you saw people celebrating the demise of this regime I think is an amazing thing.
John?
Well, I want to remind Joe that we need to bring our girls home as well, our women home as well as our boys. But as difficult as it is for me to say, I guess Bush was right.
I think certainly he has been redeemed. It looks as though they may find weapons of mass destruction. Certainly hope so, because Blix was useless.
Well, I obviously I feel the same way all of you guys do on the panel here. It was an extraordinary victory for our tax dollars. We invested them in the military, and the military came through in just amazing style there. And to the reporters who were embedded, who went there thinking that it was going to be an easy ride, and now have much more respect for the military than they ever had before. I do want to ask one question, though. Yesterday's Gazette-Journal on the front page had a much smaller story, but perhaps a significant story, which is that the Federal Reserve is prepared at this point to put unlimited billions of dollars into the economy and cut interest rates even further. And one has to think and reflect that if the war was not taking place, that story would have been the front page. How do you feel?
Well, I think they ran the right story the big way. I mean, you're
right.
right.
Of course.
No,
I'm just saying that this is another huge story, that with interest rates at historically record lows, 41 years, they've never been lower, and they are prepared to cut the rates even further, and for the government to put billions of dollars in the economy to prevent the economy from collapsing.
Yeah, we need to get the economy going, and kind of lucky because I'm buying a house this summer, so I'm pretty excited about the low rates.
I didn't see the story, Sam. You're talking about putting it into the American economy,
Yes.
not into the Iraq economy. Okay.
Well, and I think it just simply is a preemptive strike, so to speak. The focus of the common individual is on the war right now. But once that ends, obviously the economy is going to be first and foremost, and I think it makes sense to start focusing on that from a governmental standpoint.
Yeah, it goes back, and then that'll be the real test of the Bush administration. Remember that the father was at about 85%, and at the end of the Gulf War, and I think Clinton election in '92.
John,
how quickly that can fall.
That's what your side keeps hoping for. I don't see it happening
Keep calm.
again.
Well, we've got to have faith. There's got to be some sort of hope out there. Joe.
All right. Let's get into the debate of the day here. Pete Ernaut is certainly convinced that gross receipts is going to be the way it's going to go. That's what we've heard constantly, but is it really?
I think it is. I think the choice that Nevadans have is between taxing business and the Walmarts and the large corporations who are essentially making millions and millions of dollars, or taxing the individual. Tax on services is a pass-through. That's all it is. And it's an easy way for these folks to simply bypass any responsibility for our education system, our seniors, and Nevada and its future.
I got to disagree. And let me confess, we need to disclose that they are a sponsor. Tax on Services is
Correct.
a sponsor, businesses that are backing of this show. But I was at the press conference, and I've looked at all the exemptions, the things that would not be taxed under the Tax on Services. And it is mainly business services that are going to be taxed, and it can raise so much money from their projections that it could not only take care of our educational needs, but we could lower the sales tax, helping those at the lower end of the economic strata the most.
I disagree. I think that the people with the lowest, or least amount of disposable income are the ones that are going to be paying for these as pass-throughs. This is just a simple pass-through. Business will not be paying this. And again, I think this is really a question of what you want Nevada to look like in 20 years. Do you want our workforce, our children to be educated?
But a gross receipts tax on business wouldn't also be a pass-through?
And I agree with Andy. It absolutely has to be at some point. I mean, all taxes are going to be paid in the end by the consumer. I mean, the public is going to pay.
I don't think anybody has Certainly my plan.
But the governor
I don't know
asked
if I
him.
agree with that.
Go ahead, Joe.
I don't know if I agree with that because what you pay here for a bag of potato chips is the same thing that you pay in a lot of places where they do pay corporate taxes for a bag of potato chips. I moved here about a year and a half ago, and the cost of living is really, really similar to what it was in Ohio. And in Ohio, there are corporate taxes, there are personal income taxes at the city, county, and state level, and I disagree. One thing that I'll agree with on this end is that a sales tax on services will absolutely be a pass-through. You may see a pass-through on a gross receipts tax, but I don't think you will as blatantly and as distinctly as you will with this plan.
I think what's important
as blatantly
here.
Or wait a minute. Blatantly or distinctly, what does that mean? They'll hike up the price so we won't know that we're paying it?
You hit a tax button if you're doing it this way, one way, but if you go into a store and there's a gross receipts tax at a Walmart or somewhere like that, they have a national pricing structure.
But wouldn't you agree with what's happening here? We finally have, the governor asked for anyone to come forward to other proposals. The chamber has come, Las Vegas Chamber's come up with another one here. So now we have two on the table. This is what I believe we've been watching on TV this morning. This is what this is all about.
Yeah,
it's about freedom of choice here. So, I mean, now the debate can truly begin. And I think both sides, both the chamber and the governor's folks, they all want the same thing, exactly what Pete talked about this morning. We want to be able to respond to those 27,000 new children who are going to come into our state.
Okay, and that's where we've got to draw the line. We're out of time. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
If you're talking sushi, you're talking Sushi Club. Year after year, voted the best place for sushi. 11 chefs on staff to serve you. Better ingredients for consistent high quality. And lots of room, so bring your friends. Sushi Club in the Independence Square Shopping Center.
My name is Howard Dodge. Working in conditions like this winter's storm in the Sierras is harsh. But I know people need me out there. So I'm here for you, keeping your lights on for any emergencies, which is good for me because I'm a customer too.
CTX can help you negotiate your best deal. We've been your home team advantage for over a decade. Call us today because at CTX, local service still matters.
Yeah, with CTX, you're homeward bound.
When you sign up for Wells Fargo free checking, you get more than free checking. You get the freedom to bank when and where you want. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
Atlantis is cooking up a party. It's every diner's paradise. Toucan Charlie's Buffet and Grill, consistently voted Reno's best buffet by locals. Experience the Mongolian barbecue, new Asian station, and sumptuous exhibition stations filled with fresh entrees, salads, and desserts. Try the Friday night seafood buffet and Sunday's champagne brunch.
Atlantis.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
Bill Raggio tomorrow.
See ya.